Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about Moonology. That's right. Today we have our full moon in the sign of Taurus with a lunar eclipse. So this is going to be major, oh my gosh, major eclipse. This Taurus energy is going to be really strong. So it's going to really make people kind of stand up and take notice. It's one of those like a regular full moon in Taurus is good, but this is going to be like over the top. And one of the things that kind of Taurus is always looking for is that security, that stability in what's going on around us. And right now, under this moon, it's going to make us feel like we are all over the place and we have no stability. We have nothing, kind of like not quite ready to accept the changes that are coming, but knowing that we have to, kind of like, I'm not really ready for this change. And like I said, with it being an eclipse, it's going to be intensified. So you're going to see a lot of people kind of reaching out for the people around them to support them, to make them feel stable and that sort of thing. So you may find some people reaching out to you that you haven't talked to in a long time because they're really requiring that stability in their life. One of the basic problems in finding like your own under this moon is going to be like this self-respect. In order for us to ensure that we are not making a mistake or we're not kind of reaching for the wrong things, kind of like the materialistic stuff, and really looking for things that really are satisfying what we want in our life. You really have to learn to accept yourself. And a lot of times what I think that's one of the issues with most people is that they feel like they need to kind of have the materialistic item instead of what's real. And so they'd rather have the idea of this purse or item or, car or whatever it is, truck, whatever kind of thing, instead of actually having something that's really there for them, really holding their energy, really amplifying what's going on around them. And so you're going to see this more and more over this time frame with this lunar eclipse. Eclipses don't just happen, like here they're gone, they last a couple hours and they're over. This one's going to hang around for a while. Most eclipse energy does, and we just had our solar eclipse and now we're going into our lunar eclipse. It's going to intensify, and that usually that energy stays like 6 months to a year. You will still feel it'll be really high for a while, and then it'll kind of trail off a little bit, but it will bring in some very interesting energy for most people. One of the things I have found that a lot of times when people are really looking for respect, it's because they're really not respecting themselves, and so they're looking for outside validation of the respect they should be giving themselves. So it's kind of like, interesting. So you're going to see that a lot with a lot of people in a lot of different areas. I had a client the other day saying she was already seeing this this idea in her boss, and I was like, yeah, with that solar eclipse that we had just a few days ago, yes, I can understand that completely. So just know that that's kind of the energy that we're dealing with. It's kind of the energy that's coming around right now, and people are looking for something to kind of set their stability and satisfy them with what they really want in their lives. So let's pull some angel cards and get us a little bit deeper insight to our full moon in Taurus solar eclipse. I've got a couple of them jumping up here. I literally have like two popping out of my hands right here, so I'm going to hold on to those two. The first one is the North Node, and that's all about the future. And this is like a lot of people kind of looking for things that are going to validate them, not only today, but in the future as well, and kind of looking for that energy, kind of like looking for that insight that they really should be getting within them, but they're really not. So the second one is Pisces, and this is all about can't hardly read. I know, my eyes. Sensibility. And so this is kind of like that, kind of that sensibility of looking for the non-materialistic stuff to like amp yourself up. It's one of those, you should respect yourself. You should honor yourself. You should put yourself first. And I know a lot of people are like, no, I'm not supposed to be first. Everybody else is supposed to be first. it's not the way it's meant to be. You should be taking care of yourself, because if you're taking care of you, then you can take care of other people. But if you're only taking care of them, then you're letting yourself fall out. You're allowing yourself to kind of be hurt or injured, or not taking care of what you require doing, going to the doctor, going to take care of yourself, or taking a rest, or whatever else. You're always giving to other people, and there's no one giving to you. Not even you are giving to you. And so that's something that can really overwhelm us with this energy. And you're going to see a lot of people kind of making some new choices with this eclipse energy. The next card is the 8th house, and this is all about the mystery. I think kind of one of the big mysteries with eclipses is kind of just the phenomena of seeing it. No matter if you see it or don't see it or anything else, that eclipse energy is still circling the whole globe. It's one of those, even if you're like, I can't see it from where I'm at, I don't live anywhere where I could see it, it doesn't matter. It's coming after you. That energy is going to catch up to you, and you will feel it maybe a little bit later than everybody else, but you will really see it. And so that's kind of the mystery of it. And how is it going to affect you? Because you may not have a problem with respecting yourself or honoring yourself, but someone else might. And it's kind of like, and then they're in your world and they're in your sphere, maybe a friend or a spouse or a sibling or something like that. And so because they're having issues with it, it may bring up some stuff in you kind of like in a backwards way. You're like, oh, I dealt with the eclipse stuff, I'm okay. But because they're now dealing with it, you have to deal with it in a different way. So that's just one of those interesting energies of how do you really work through this energy. This is kind of like a very kind of interesting way to do it. The next two cards, I was going to pull one of them and they kind of came together. So this is Mars and this is motion, and this is Chiron and this is healing. And a lot of eclipse energy, especially with our solar eclipse not too long ago, these are bringing up a lot of motion for a lot of people, a lot of movement in what they want or what they don't want in the world. And it's also going to bring up a lot of healing. Our last one was conjunct with Chiron, so that's going to bring up a lot of inner healing for yourself. So both of those are really interesting cards. I'm really excited to pull them for you. So make sure that you go back and look, even though you're like, oh, the solar eclipse was a couple of days ago or 2 weeks ago when you finally get to see this. Go back and look it up and kind of really think about how that affected you and how it affected the people around you. It can be quite interesting to kind of re-look at that in a different way. And I will link them down beneath all the eclipse energy for 2022. So be quite interesting to see how you get through all of this. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.